We have reached the tower. I imagine we're going inside.
Anything else?
Yep.
Let's gather up everyone's tokens real quick.
And
Wow, wait, waste a hero point.
I'm just gonna look at Morgan and I'm just gonna say, for convenience, you're a conscript of the Grey Wardens. That should get you protection inside the tower because at that point you're no longer a hedge maze. A hedge maze. Mage! Fuck!
Well, I'd rather be a hedge maze than a swamp witch.
Well, like I said, it's just that way to make sure that at least with all hope and intention, nobody will harass you here.
It sounds to me they have bigger problems, but I appreciate your concern.
Don't underestimate the ability of people to be petty little
Yeah.
I point at Drastov and then Theo. It's like that.
Yep.
Not to go on one of my tirades again, but we're dealing with the Templar and there are 3 mages here. We're also in a circle that everything is going wrong. They're going to be even more high-strung about mages.
It's truly a place I never believed I'd ever be in, and here I am walking into it voluntarily.
Well, congratulations. Every day's a new experience.
It truly is.
Yeah, I would say at least it's a choice for you. But at least it is a choice for you.
It is a choice for you.
These buildings are never a choice. And then I'm gonna walk in.
I mean, suicide's the easy way out.
We arrive at the circle, and the big, heavily reinforced iron doors are locked closed. There are no guards posted because they did not expect anyone to be here. Being in the middle of a lake has great strategic advantage.
Well, let's see here. So this is the door here. I didn't hear him, so I'm going to assume that's a yes.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's just moving all the tokens first.
Let's see here.
It's very, very tall. Those of us who have been around civilization for a while, it's got to be 20 to 30 stories up. The place seems to be made of dark blue stone. Those of you who are magically sensitive, there is roaring amounts of energy just emanating off of this building. And you guys can feel violent eruptions of power all around the building, as if there are intense spells just blowing up all over the place right now. It is so powerful that those of you who are magical sensitive are almost getting like pings in your head, like someone's taking a stick and cracking it against the side of your head.
That's not good. I would tell everybody to be at the ready, but if you want to have your weapons out, I'm not going to stop you, but we don't want to run in here looking like a bunch of bandits. But there's definitely something going on. Something bad. So I forget, do circle mages have something they can do that automatically opens tower doors? I feel like they do. They have something that makes them able to access any circle tower.
Yes, there is a rather simple knock spell that fledgling mages are taught. It is kind of one of the first exams you ever take as a fledgling apprentice.
Okay, that's what I thought. I would perform the knock.
Easy enough. The doors crack open and swing inward. There are many Templars that don't even respond to the door opening as you guys flood inside. Walking in, there are a dozen some Templars in their traditional heavy plates, running around barking orders at each other. You see several that are heavily wounded that are laying against the walls. Their armor removed so that they can be treated at the little field hospital that's been set up. The doors into the stairway are barred with 2 guards with their weapons ready, just pacing back and forth in front of the doors to the entrance of the building itself. There is a older looking woman in the center of it all that people come up and talk to, and she speaks low enough that you don't hear what she is saying. Though Evelyn will immediately recognize the insignia she is wearing. That is the Knight Commander. It seems they are so busy they did not even notice their doors opening.
Contested feelings.
Well,
Contested feelings. These are Templar.
probably kind of fucked if they don't even notice that.
There's something going on upstairs.
The older woman who seems to be in charge turns towards you. Cullen was explicitly told not to bring further people here. Who are you?
Evelyn, that's your job. You're the circle man.
Yep. So that's her right there.
That's her.
I would approach and I would give a proper I would give a proper like bow of respect to the Templar, especially a fucking Knight Commander, and I would identify myself as Evelyn.
RP in game.
I'm Evelyn, a circle Dareswood. I am a member of the Grey Wardens, and we came to seek aid and, more importantly, alleviate the problem at the Circle Tower.
She narrows her eyes at you, and you can see her thinking about something briefly. You are a wayward transfer student, were you not?
Yes.
And you took a wrong turn for several weeks and became a Grey Warden.
When I was in the capital city, I was informed by the guard that I had actually been redirected to serve at the front in Ostagar with the king.
Well, be fortunate. The gods favor you. You would not have wanted to be here. And who is your entourage?
My eyes briefly drift to the wounded before jumping back to her. These are these are fellow members of the Grey Wardens. Drustav Lucius Gallus, a trained alchemist and capable in the medical arts. Theodore Humphrey Farquhar von Drac, a noble emissary. And the 2 women are Nicola, a Dalish that we recruited, and Morrigan.
What brings you here?
There's an issue in Redcliffe. The Arl's son, the Arl fell ill due to an attempt upon his life, and his son ended up becoming the host of a demon. The demon raised an undead horde and was trying to exact revenge upon the person who committed the crime. To put a long story short, it was an accident, and we were able to heal the Arl, but for the safety of everybody, we didn't admit that to the demon yet. We told them that the criminal was here so that we could come here and find somebody or something in hopes of exorcising the demon from the child. And after that, we would have the child go through the proper induction and evaluation.
You seek aid from the senior and first enchanters for this task, then.
I nod.
You will not be receiving it today, or possibly at all. As Knight Commander of Ferelden, I humbly apologize to you that this condition cannot be met.
I'm going to interject and say, and also the oath that the circle took. years ago to help the Grey Wardens in time of a blight, and again hand Avalon the conscription note.
The old treaties, then.
Yes, there is that as well. But I hope to resolve that after the issues at the circle were taken care of.
Well then, Wardens, as Knight Commander of Ferelden's forces, you must accept my most sincere apology and shame that we do not have the means to uphold this treaty with you. Our mages are locked inside the tower. There have been many abominations unleashed several days ago. Everyone I have sent inside has never returned. They will not. The doors will remain sealed until we have word from the Grand Cleric as to the right of annulment being granted.
Annulment?
Shit, you're purging all of them?
They must be slain for the safety of the world.
Well, considering one demon was kind of bad news, and this is probably dozens, I can see them.
Unfortunately, we just do not know enough of what's happened, and we cannot risk sending any more inside.
Then
I am
don't
too few as it is.
Then don't risk your own.
What would you have me
Evelyn,
do?
you're not about to volunteer us for this, are you? Because I can smell that from over here.
For God's sake, you feel like I'm always dragging you with me. The number of times I have offered to do things.
Calm yourself, young mage. Lack of self-control are the kinds of things that cause this.
You are right. My point but my statement does not change. There must be something we can do to help alleviate this.
If I may interject with a question or two, please.
You may.
So, am I accurate in assessing that we don't have confirmation exactly how far this abomination pandemic has spread?
During this conversation, you guys have heard continuous noise above you. And almost right on cue as you say that, a very loud explosion can be heard, maybe 20 feet over your heads. It almost knocks some of you to the ground, there's so much force. There is no knowing what is going on up there in this Tower of Horrors, but it cannot be allowed to leave.
Okay. That is logical. Then second question in Drastov, I actually think if we're supposed to try and secure assistance, then would it not behoove us to assess this situation and see if it's salvageable?
Oh no, I'm all down for going in there and killing shit, but here's the thing. Unless they're clearly not possessed, I'm not showing mercy to anything that might be a demon in disguise.
Okay.
I'm not innately opposed to going in there. I'm just going to make that very clear that we've already seen a demon that was moderately decent at pretending it's a human. There's probably ones way better, especially if they control a fully realized mage and not a child that doesn't have a clue what it's doing.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I just wanted to bring up that point. I don't feel qualified since I am not a man of magic to really identify the threat here and see what we need to do going forward. However, if I might, Knight Commander, I was deemed competent enough to be assigned as the camp medic or surgeon for the king at Ostagar. If you, with your permission, I would like to see if I can assist medically. You're wounded. I'm
Your
going to leave the
aid
rest of
would
the
be
talking up to
most
you.
welcome.
I'll nod and head off that direction while everyone else continues this discussion.
Dristov, you're medically capable too, correct? Then did he mute himself?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Well, I would ask Dristov to help as well because there are a lot of wounded. Then I would ask Theo and Nicola for their inputs on this situation because I don't want to drag everybody along, and of course that's not my intent. But
I
We do-
will let Nicola go first.
It's all learning for me. I'm always interested in seeing what's ahead. In terms of, so what's actually wrong with people here? Do we know?
there are abominations, which is what happens when a mage is possessed by a demon, a less elegant demon.
So the one good thing is we could maybe test out ways of getting rid of the abomination on these folks, which could in turn help us learn a skill for going back.
I
As
don't
well.
think this is a ritual then. I think this is more the bludgeon the devil out of them until they're dead.
I'm about to say, unfortunately, an abomination.
Well, it's not.
Abominations are terrible mutated humans or humanoids. There's no recovering somebody who's that far gone. Even-
there must be
even I-
something causing it here, though.
The thing
When
that
one-
caused it, Nicola, is stupid, foolish children believing they can control demons within themselves. There is no cure. They must be purged.
Honestly, if they're that stupid, yeah, I kind of agree.
And there isn't a root to this, or there isn't something that maybe one of these stupid kids done that's made it worse, or could
all it takes is one person accessing the fade and allowing a demon through to allow an influx of demons, and weak mages are easily possessed by demons.
No, it's days like these that I'm happy I'm not a mage and I'm a dwarf that doesn't have any fade-related shit.
There are days like this I'm glad I was not born an idiot.
Fair.
So your general feeling, Nicola, is that you are interested because it's an experience.
yes.
Well,
Okay, and Theo?
I have to agree with the Knight Commander here. Anything that's an abomination in there that has no chance of return must be slain. Now, even if we think about going in there, which at this point in time I am against because again it's going to take up more of our time. Even if we do go in there, we all have to understand that we're not there to save everyone. We can't just spend time in there having moral debates and what's right and what's wrong. Actions are going to have to be taken in regards to killing people that might not seem to be possessed. And I would say that even if we are to do that, then I would be getting the word off you right now, Knight Commander, that you swear that if we clear this out, that not only will the mages help us, but you will help us as well, because we are risking our own lives here in regards to doing this.
your treaty, Grey Wardens, is with the mages, not the Templars. I would be able to grant you some aid, but I cannot commit my force to your cause. Our cause is to ensure the mages can take care of themselves. You do not propose going
great job of that.
inside that horror tower, do you?
So if we do propose going in there, again, we want something. I would say, I can't speak for everyone else, but if we go in there and there are no mages left and we have to kill them all, then we have to get something out of it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the Knight Commander of Ferelden, correct?
I understand your train of thinking. If you go inside the tower and slaughter them all, or find no survivors and return with nothing, the treaty must be upheld, and my force will then be committed to you in their absence. However, if there are mages alive, do what you can to help them. If you can assure me that the problem is settled, then I will release our hold on the tower, and we will cancel the request for the right of the moment. However, I will trust only the word of the first enchanter. If he is lost, then the tower is lost.
Okay.
If you do decide to take this heroic but short-sighted choice, I will lock the doors behind you. Again, I need the word of the first enchanter before they open again. And should the rite of annulment arrive before you return, you will not be spared.
But if if we get in there and the first enchanter is too far gone or dead, or
If he is dead, then the tower is beyond saving.
then
And
what
we are
happens?
fucked.
What happens to us coming back out?
We're
Because-
fucked. She just said we don't. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
if the first enchanter's in there and he's dead, we're fucked. So we could already be walking
Yeah.
into a death trap already.
I take no pride in
Yeah,
this,
no.
Wardens, but in my place, I imagine you would understand this decision.
Oh no, I entirely understand where you're coming from. It's the reasonable.
If you go in there and return without the first enchanter, I have no way to know that you have not become corrupted as well.
Hey, I'm a dwarf. Ever seen a dwarven abomination?
You? Yes. But I also see elves and humans, 3 of which are magically gifted.
Yep.
You have my word as first enchanter. I will stall, should the right arrive, but I cannot wait forever. If you return with the first enchanter, then they will be cleared to help you. If the circle is beyond saving, and it must be destroyed, then the Templars will help you in the mage's absence.
Again, the issue is that if we go in there and the first enchanter's gone, you aren't going to let us out. So
Yep.
you aren't helping us here. So
If you return with
It's still
him and the rest
reasonable.
of the circle is destroyed, then that is what we will do. The treaty must be upheld. But if
Any
there is
other
enough
treaty?
still within the tower to help your cause, then your treaty is with them, not us.
Out of character, I vote for right of annulment. It just seems like the most reasonable thing to do.
The rite of annulment is
Let's
on
just-
the way.
Let's just do
What
it.
are we gonna
let-
do- what
let's-
are we
let's
gonna
just-
do?
Let's just discuss it.
Hold
in
a moment.
character. Let's just do it. In
This
character.
is where we're almost exactly at 2 hours, and right now is a very critical decision to make. So we're going to stop for a 10-minute break. You guys are free to discuss this. We will not move the story forward until you guys have come to a decision what we're going to do. So 10-minute break.
We're going to Tyler.
This is a cascading problem.
Yeah. My opinion is we can't keep getting away with heroic decisions. There's got to be a time when it fucks us in the ass horribly.
Well, I
It's
don't
only a
mean
question
making.
of when, not if.
And I'm not talking about the choice to help here. I'm more concerned about the cascading problem of if we don't help here,
how do we?
how do we resolve the problems with the prince? He's
will
not
say
going
Apply
to be.
Templars to the problem. They probably have methods of purgation.
But they're
And
not going to
hey,
help
the
us if
thing
we
is,
don't.
no. If we just wait and help them with the rite of annulment, we have our Templars and we have our Lyrium anyway. Because, well, dead mage is not going to use the Lyrium.
Yeah, the circle is going to need that, I guess.
Yeah,
I will
so we have the Lyrium we need.
I will say, there is going to be some magical, valuable shit inside that tower.
What did I say?
Huh?
No. He was saying, "I will say."
Oh,
not
right. Sorry.
will say.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I
I don't know. I mean, look, the inner loot hole in me says go in there, close the doors, and strip it of everything that isn't nailed down. But the reasonable person in me is saying we can't keep getting away with heroic and good actions in fucking Dragon Age, where everything is horrible and a
I mean,
crap
we
sack
can
world.
do that at the same time, Leon. Like, Rite of Annulment will be reinforcements. We go in with them, kill everyone, just take the loot as well.
Yeah, but we can't get as much. The optimal get everything solution is going solo. I get it. We'll get some stuff if we just go in there with the Templars. And that's why I'm saying the reasonable choice is to work with the Templars and just go on a purging spree.
Templars can still, like, out of character, and if I'm not mistaken, V, Templars can still access the Fade, can they not? Because that's how the whole, like, because I remember from the Origins, it's the Templars that help the mages do the right anyway. So they can still, in their own way, with Lyrium, access the Fade. So we could.
The rite is conducted through other magi, not the Templars.
Yeah, they don't.
Other magi, how the rite or how the what's it called?
Sorry, Captain Volk's on to you. Captain Volk said in chat, you enter the tower, DM says you were late, the enchanter was dead, the annulment begins, you're all dead, end of campaign, it's a trap. I think.
Hey, I would save you guys a lot of time.
I think me and Leon.
So the word I was looking for, how the harrowing. The harrowing, the thing that every mage has to do to actually pass their apprenticeship. The senior enchanters go into the Fade and invite a demon and promise that demon that this soul is going to enter the Fade and we want you to tempt him. We will give you control of this person as long as you can get them to agree to it. The Templars are just there to watch the way the body reacts and are there to kill that person as soon as they see signs of possession.
Okay, my bad.
But how the harrowing works has nothing to do with them.
I thought the Templars still had ways to, like, dispel magic through Lyrium and stuff like that and enter the Fade.
The Templars still have magical ability. It's not that they don't. They're not tranquil and they're not dwarves. They're humans and elves. So they still have access to the Fade in dreams like other people do. Their magical ability is purely trained in the destruction of other magic. They are not cut from the Fade.
Basically, you load them up on cocaine, well, lyrium, and then they just throw raw cocaine at you until your concentration is
They
gone.
don't have the natural magical aptitude like a mage does. They get all of it through the consumption of lyrium. So they're not able to control magic the way magi do.
I mean,
so the stuff that they do learn is just how to dispel other magic.
I mean, even if we do that, we can still get lyrium to use for Morrigan or whatever. If we do go down that avenue, we could get lyrium to use instead of, like, blood, so we don't have to sacrifice anyone.
Morrigan still has that little pouch of lyrium that she got that she never had to use because there was no fighting.
In regards to putting more people in the Fade, we're going to need more than that. So my point being,
yes, there will be a lot of very valuable stuff to raid from this place. Just be aware that this is immensely dangerous. The things that you will encounter inside the circle, and this isn't me as a DM warning you, this is contextual. You know what's going on. These are mages possessed by demons. These are immensely dangerous things that you'd be walking in to fight. And whatever caused all of this is going to be more powerful than any of them. This is an immensely dangerous decision.
We aren't the main characters. We don't have fucking plot armor.
No, you do not have plot armor. If the party dies, then the campaign is over. Like, party wipe, the game's over. Though I would be happy to let you guys pick up.
I think my idea from the very first game that we had, if we ever do fail, and I thought this is a really fucking cool idea. I'm also going to think that because I think everyone in my ideas are fucking cool.
Of course.
What we would do if we were to fail, we would
play Darkspawn.
No, we would just say that the Blight was successful in Ferelden, and now we are, like, from Orlais, or again we are somewhere else that is now another nation, or other nations in the world have now taken this as a serious threat, and now we need to react to it. And the Darkspawn are even fucking stronger because they now have a full nation that have just.
I've definitely thought of this as a contingency, as long as one of the warriors is still alive.
Sorry, Captain Volk said, "Yeah, V, why can't we quick save?"
Can we just start a new save file?
Why can't we quick save? What
we're gonna do, right? We're gonna save right here, and then we're gonna do the quest acceptance exploit until we level up a few times, and then we'll go in.
I'm gonna go outside.
Give me level 20 ranger abilities, and I'll solo this entire thing.
Me and Drastov will go out and kill some squirrels and level up with the XP.
Dude, the early
Oh,
versions
shit.
of Dragon Age are so broken and so exploitable. Like, you can blow through the game in 25 minutes because, like, none of the walls actually work. So you could just, like, walk through all the walls and to get straight to the Archdemon in, like, half an hour.
Mhm.
And you can just, like, when you level up, there's a way that you can, like, spend all your attribute points and then reload the game and then spend them all again. So you can go to, like, level 800 in, like, 20 minutes if you wanted to. This
That
game
might have
is
been
so
patched.
busted. It was. It's the later versions of it that were fixed. But if
Ah.
you can get a hold of the early versions of Dragon Age, it was so poorly made. Watching speedruns of Dragon Age is hilarious.
That should have been the telltale signs for us with fucking EA.
But yeah, if you guys figure out a way to do the power level hack, then I guess I can't stop you.
I mean, bribes. I mean,
I do have games on my wish list.
I'm still waiting for my bribe to come through. V. The deal was struck.
We got about 3 more minutes before our break is officially over. I'm leaving the music off till we're back in game. But anyway, yeah, just be aware that you guys do not have plot armor. This is an immensely dangerous task. If you guys go in there, you are fighting magi possessed by demons. These are dangerous monsters.
I think at the same time, it's fair to say that you're not trying to TPK us, and
No,
you
I
have
don't
said
want
multiple
to
times
TPK
Listen,
you guys. I
dude,
don't ever want to do that. But
V-
if you
V
do it to
always
yourselves,
says
I will
that.
do it.
He always says
Right.
that. But
Don't trust
I have
him.
never
Don't.
done a TPK ever in all the years that you've played with me. So don't even try that shit.
I'm saying you always say, "Oh, listen, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to do that." But after someone dies, you
Eric,
sit there and laugh at them like,
Eric.
"You fucking
I
died."
want to
That's
ask
not true at all.
Eric.
You're doing it
Let
right
me
now.
ask you a question, Eric. How many uses of Breath of Life did I have to pump during the Avacyn fight? I counted 7. I had to hit 7 quickened breaths of life.
And you know
I
why
burned
that
all of
was?
my fucking precious
Because
of
you had a
Jack.
retard that decided you wanted to fight an archangel. That wasn't
Because
my
of Jack.
fault. Yeah,
I
you had a
know, it was
retard
Jack.
that picked a fight with an archangel. Not my fucking fault. And you
Every
still
Joe
survived.
won.
You still survived. But man,
And
that
I
was a
burned
brutal
through a
fight.
quarter of my wealth. All of my money was burned.
I think that was probably one of the most dangerous creatures I ever made was Avacyn. She was not a joke. She was terrifying.
Listen, man, my case was like, "Listen here, you fucking fucked."
Dude, Avacyn was bad. I think she almost killed like 4 of you.
Fucking didn't fucking kill my case. My case would have fucking backhanded her.
Eric, she killed 4 people. I
Yeah.
rezzed them in combat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she almost killed half of you by herself. She was not.
Well, I
she
mean,
was not a joke.
You say 4. One of the people didn't count because they were challenged. So like,
So 3.5 people.
half is even a fucking. I'd say a quarter.
3.25. It was a pie amount of players.
But no, like
Miles still gone. Is Artemis back?
Theo.
I've been here.
I'm here. I'm just typing.
Theo's
Is
like,
Nick back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so it looks like everyone is here. So I'm just going to reiterate, the story is basically paused here until you guys decide what you're going to do. How this is going to work. You are allowed to go inside the tower. If you do, the door is closed behind you and you cannot leave until the first enchanter himself stands at the door and tells the Knight Commander that everything has been secured. If that is a failure, you are assumed to be corrupted, and you will be purged when the rite of annulment arrives, which is on its way. If the rite arrives, the Templars are going to sweep through the tower and massacre everyone, including you. If the Magi are destroyed, but First Enchanter Irving is found, the Templars pledge to honor the bargain in the mage's absence because they are gone. If the mages can be recovered, and First Enchanter Irving believes that there is enough to still honor your treaty, the treaty will be upheld and the Knight Commanders stay behind. Now, Meredith has promised some of her forces in the case of that, but your treaty is with the Magi, not with the Templars. If you guys choose to go inside this tower, be aware of what you will find. These are wizards and sorcerers possessed by demons. This is not a joke. This is very fucking dangerous. And you will be on a clock. And if you run out of time, you will have possessed wizards in front of you and really pissed off Templars behind you. You will die in here if you take too long. So understand the weight of this decision. If you choose to say fuck it, the tower is destroyed and your treaty with the mages is gone. Although you're not dead in the process. So we're going to pick the game up. It is in-game RP, but nothing's going to happen until you guys decide what you're going to do. So we'll pick it back up. Let's put some tense music on.
So what's everyone thinking?
We need more information. I think we have a severe
Okay.
lack of information.
If you guys want to ask questions to Meredith Stenard, you still can.
What questions have you got,
Um,
Lucius?
Well, I think Morgan would I think you'd be an unbiased source of information.
The
Could
Templars
you-
deserve death.
That's
No, I mean, okay. So if we go in there and we face these, and I kind of make a hand motion towards the Knight Commander, abominations is the term, yes. Well, what type of combatant is that? All I know so far is that there's a demon inside of a mage, but are they still fragile?
It will depend on the manner of the demon possessing and if the body was dead or alive when it was taken. There is no knowledge I can give you that would be a solid answer.
How many mages were in the tower here? I mean, what's the possibility? Are we looking at maybe running into 100 or 50? Are there only half of them these abominations?
That is a
How many
question
were
I
killed?
cannot answer for you, Lucius. Perhaps our resident scholar would have better answers.
well, God. Would there be some type of check I could make to identify the average number of mages in a tower or
Just-
specific?
Just ask the
That
Knight
is
Commander
your-
who's in charge.
You could ask her, or you could use your arcane check.
Well, I would check with the Knight Commander first. How many mages were in the tower prior to this happening?
Our last roll call was 834.
Fucking hell!
Nope. I'm not going in there.
That's assuming they're all alive, which guaranteed they are not. Many will be dead by now. There's
I'm not
still
going in
signs of, there's still loud, roaring evidence that there is live combat going on inside. And the
So
demons
there's-
don't generally fight each other. So most likely, there are survivors in there trying to survive. What they would think of you as saviors or just another threat, that is another thing to consider.
So, okay, large amount still fighting. So we know that there is some level still alive, evidenced by explosion. So the next question, identification. Is there a way that, and Evelyn, you've got to tell us, is there a way that you can identify each other as not being possessed?
There are a
Surely the
multitude of-
circle has done something in that regard.
There are a multitude of different signs to indicate if somebody is possessed, but I don't know any particular rituals to be able to guarantee identify it easily. I mean, some of it is very apparent, like mutated arms, distended body parts. But some can be more subtle, like with Connor, where the only sign of his corruption, of his possession, was that his eyes were rimmed in a glow of purple.
Hmm.
It depends on the type of demon.
Okay.
I love Theo's reaction. He was like, oh, fuck no.
I mean, he's absolutely right.
I was like, oh, fuck no. What did you
Drostoff.
expect to hear?
From a warden perspective, if the tower falls, we lose a treaty. What's the impact
we don't.
to? We don't. I thought
The
that
Knight Commander confirmed that she will uphold the treaty and we will get Templar support. We do
No.
not lose the treaty if the tower falls.
She
Merely
did
be a
not.
different guarantor. She
She
did.
said, she said that the treaty is with the mages. If we
And
can
she
bring
will
back
honor
the
it.
first, please don't interrupt me. If we can bring back the first enchanter, because he is alive, but there are not enough mages to support us, she will devote Templars. If the first enchanter is dead, it is not her problem. And then I look at Meredith and I said, "Am I getting that correct, Knight Commander?"
You are. It would pain me to turn you away, but your treaty is with the Magi, not with the Templars. If you require our assistance in your war, that would require word from the Grand Cleric, not from I. She directs our forces, not even the wardens do.
So, Drostov, how does that impact our future battles with the
Fuck, I'm
Darkspawn?
gonna have to go murder everyone in there and just drag the first enchanter out, I guess. Because I'm not leaving random people behind that might be infected or possessed.
You must slay them all. There is no way to know who is possessed and who is not. Every single one in there must be destroyed.
I'm sensing logical fallacy. So then, how do we know that the first enchanter is not also like what?
We don't.
There is no way to know. But of all the idiots and fuckwits inside that building, he is the only one with enough common sense matching the size of his balls. There is no way that he has fallen to this. But if he is dead due to a mage rebellion, then the tower is lost either way. I assure you on my honor and the honor of the men and women under my banner, the first enchanter is not the cause of this problem and is not possessed.
I mean, considering the selection process for that is probably very rigorous, I'm willing to believe it.
He has been a part of the tower longer than I have. He has been here since his 17th birthday. He is now 82. He has seen far more horrors than I ever have, and I know from the bottom of my soul that he is not at fault here. But everyone underneath him must be slain until he is the one to walk up and tell me that the problem is resolved.
So, what is our time frame? You said that you would send in this annulment or cleansing if we go in and we haven't come back.
We need authorization from the Grand Cleric in Orlais. I've sent a messenger 4 days ago. You have maybe 2.
2 weeks?
You have maybe 2 days until a return is made. Given the situation, I have no doubts that the Grand Cleric will have authorized this. If it stalls, if you arrive, or if it arrives and you are still inside, I can hold for maybe a day, but that is the best I can give you. Anything beyond that is a dereliction of duty on my part, and I will not stain my record with mercy for you.
Let's just say by default, do that for a day.
I will hold for a day. At that point, I have done all I can, and you are considered lost as well. I will not risk whatever is in there escaping this tower. I can only hold out so much hope for you.
If we do this, and I'm not saying we will because I won't speak for everybody, but Drastov, would this not be a good idea? Would you, if we fall, can you guarantee us that you will send word to Drastov? Where are we again? The wardens that would need to know.
Did you just ask, what are we?
Orlais, yes. No, where?
Weissel.
Oh.
Orlais.
No, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, if we do go in, the wardens in Orlais need to know about all of this shit, because it's a full-blown blight.
If you are slain, you have my word. The rest of the wardens in Orlais and in Highever will know as soon as possible. She puts her weapon up and salutes you with it, and then puts her weapon away. Gleith does not look happy. He is cowering like a cat under Nicola right now.
So, just to understand, right, I'm trying to understand from Theo's perspective here, because I'm a little bit confused, out of character. I'm going into a place that has no law. So right now, what would be the what's the? I'm trying to think, like, if she's telling me to slay everyone and that's a lawful thing to do, if Theo's going to do that, but I'm going
You
to
cut out what you were saying.
So I'm just trying to understand the perspective of Theo's alignment of lawful evil, because there is no law in that tower right now. So can I go in here essentially under my own mindset of what I deem as lawful and what's the right thing to do?
The law inside that tower is what the Templars enforce. They are the police force.
So what is it? What's the law that she's essentially like dictating out here? Just so I can better get in the mindset of Theo and what his decision's going to be.
Kill everybody.
If you
until-
want to know what the lawful evil decision is if
No,
do you
no,
want
no,
to obey?
No, I want to know what the Templars are saying. Like right now, what's like is it martial law? Like I go in there and I need to kill fucking everyone. There's no mercy, like no prisoners. That's what it is, because that's what's going
The
to influence
decision that
my
has
decision.
been made, the decision that has been made by the legal authority of the tower is that every mage inside there must die. Whatever has happened is so far beyond control that it cannot be resolved. There is no way to know who is still good, who is evil, who is possessed, who is undead. Everyone in there must be destroyed. The right of annulment is getting legal authority from the highest ranking cleric in the continent for the rights to do this. So this is the legal and correct way of doing it, as heartless as it is to massacre everyone in that tower down to the last man, woman, and child to ensure that there isn't one that's still possessed.
Cool.
Meredith is allowing that if the first enchanter, Irving, stands in front of her and says that the problem has been resolved, then she will cancel the order to kill anyone else, because she will take his word that the problem has been resolved and she doesn't have to do this.
Cool.
But right now, the legal authority is making a legal decision. This is allowed in the law, as heartless as it is.
That's fine. Again, it just helps me understand Theo's decision a lot more.
I get it. This is a hard decision to make. The decision that I would be struggling with right now if I was playing Theo is, do you trust the word of the people that are in charge to obey the law? Or do you take charge of the situation yourself and resolve it because you believe the legal authority here is making a wrong decision? That's the one that I would have a conflict with. And again, continue to RP this. This is a very heavy decision to make.
I had to ask you out of character. There was no other way to.
Well, I get that. I just didn't want everyone else to sit in silence. This probably is the biggest decision you guys have made since the start of the game.
Well, we kind of have confirmation that the other idiots in Orlais will be informed if we die, and we can't risk a treaty breached. So, while I despise the idea of going down, well, up, really, into that shithole, we kind of have to. At least I don't know about you, Theo. You can walk at any point. Same with Morrigan. But Lucius, Evelyn, we kind of have to.
I was resigned to the fact that I had to do this from the get-go.
The Templars are in charge here, and their decision-making is sound. I do not see the risk of... I do not see a purpose in risking our already tenuous battle with the Darkspawn with a near hopeless endeavor. I believe we should allow the lawkeepers here to do what must be done, and we will salvage what remains when it is over.
Problem is that we're not getting help from the Templar.
We are not getting help from dead magi either way.
But what's
But
important
we might
is
still get some alive mages.
I about to say we can get alive mages if we do something.
But we're also being told that we need to kill every mage.
We need
apart from the first enchanter.
So
I'm banking on getting the Templar.
I'm about to say, I raise my finger at that, and I do say, if we can get to the first enchanter, and he can say the problem is resolved, any mage still alive is under our banner.
And what say you for all of the ones that we choose to turn up our nose and pretend to not see along the way? Are we going to lie to the Knight Commander here about it? Do we risk them stabbing us in the back? Do we risk frightened, stupid children who have caused this to happen in the first place to trust their word to not take advantage of us? Everyone in there is going to be terrified, desperate, and paranoid. They would likely see us another threat or someone to take advantage of for their own survival. Do you know what happens when someone reaches another when they are drowning? They will pull that person down and drown them for a chance to survive. You know what we're walking into here.
Oh yes, that's why I'm not really going under the assumption of getting anyone but Irving out.
I about to say, I'm not happy that we're doing this either. But beyond my own predilections and morals, it's necessary as Grey Wardens to try and get what people we can to fight the Darkspawn.
It is necessary as Grey Wardens to win the war.
Yeah,
We
I
can't
made
do that
that
if we
kind
are
of
dead,
important.
Evelyn.
See,
And
the
we won't
problem
do
is,
that if we don't have
Morrigan.
enough people.
Yeah, see, the problem is, Morrigan, we need lyrium or mages. We're getting neither if we walk from this, which means we can't get Connor busted without you-know-what.
If we wait a week and allow the tower to be scoured like it's going to, we will have other discussions to have that don't involve us being flayed.
We can
And you
get.
expect Connor to wait a week when our lie was 7 days?
I expected Connor to not allow us in the fortress to begin with. If I remember my decision, it was to kill the boy and be done with it. But here
Yeah,
we
and-
are trying to save the world again.
And you would have died confronting an undead horde. Or no, I'm sorry, Morrigan. You would have ran away. Because
So-
your hide's more important than the world itself.
So the world itself is so important, you throw yourself into danger. You are aware to win a battle, you must survive it. How many battles are you going to walk into before the one that is required to be won?
Yeah, but the
So
problem
let's
is with that
let's
mindset,
let's just
pure
stop.
survival
Let's just
doesn't get
stop,
many.
guys. Let's just stop the dick measuring competition, right? Before we even go in here, before I even agree to anything, because we're sitting doing this right now, and I know what's going to happen when we go in this tower. If we do go in this tower, I am only entering in there under the agreement that anyone that we come across that we slay, I am not going to sit in there, and I'm not going to have a moral debate when we need to get the first enchanter out there. I'm not want to see anyone else in this group of people die, but we are not having a moral debate if we can save people. We can get Lyrium, we can go back, we have Morrigan, we have Nicola. I'm sure they can perform the ritual, put us into the Fade, and we can get the demon out of Connor. We don't need another mage to do that. Yes, we will return empty-handed, unfortunately, but at the same time, we can explain to Connor the situation in regards to what's happened to the circle. I'm sure even that demon inside Connor would know the Fades open up here, so he knows we're telling the truth. I'm not going to sit in there and have moral fuckeries and, oh, we should do this, we should do that. Anyone we come across, they die. That's it, hands down. The law's been passed, and that's the only way I accept going in there with everyone.
Oh no, I can agree with that.
I can't be opposed.